Hello folks, thank you for joining me today. I just wanted to make a quick video about the resurrection and the rapture and what did Jesus have to say about it and what was the foundation in the Old Testament. So in John chapter 11 we find that Lazarus had died and he came to talk to Martha and he said to Martha, "Your brother will rise again." And Martha said unto him, "I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day." Notice she didn't say at the rapture, she didn't say he will rise in the midpoint in the tribulation, or he will rise before the tribulation. She knew that the resurrection will take place at the last day. In Luke chapter 14, verse 14, we also find Jesus speaking to the people and saying, when you have a dinner, a banquet, don't invite your friends or your family or your rich neighbors because they will pay you in kind, but rather invite the poor or the lame and the blind because they cannot repay you, but you will be repaid at, and here's the clincher, at the resurrection of the just. He qualified it. He didn't give a blanket statement of a general resurrection. He specifically said the resurrection of the just. Hence, there is a resurrection of the unjust also. But he said, you will be repaid at the resurrection of the just. Then we go to Acts chapter 24, and here we see that Paul is saying to Felix, he's saying, "I do confess to you, however, that I worship the God of our fathers according to the way," which they call a sect. They used to call Christianity the way. "I believe everything that is said, that is laid down by the law and written in the prophets. And I have the same hope in God that they themselves cherish, that there will be a resurrection of both the righteous and the wicked." There is a clear distinction. There's two resurrections, one for the righteous, one for the wicked. Then you have to remember that in Daniel chapter 12, he spoke of it concerning the same resurrections. It says, "And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book," that is the book of life, "and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to everlasting contempt." And there you have the foundation in the Old Testament of a distinction between a resurrection, but a resurrection of the just and a resurrection of the unjust. Daniel is specific, it is written, it is a foundation that the Jews knew, Martha knew it, and Jesus didn't rebuke her for it because it was sound doctrine, it was correct. And then we know from reading in Revelation chapter 20 that the first resurrection takes place at the end. Revelation 20 specifically calls it as the first resurrection. Blessed are they that take part in the first resurrection. So it is important to understand that because in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16 and 17, we find that it says that the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trump of God. And the dead in Christ shall rise first. That's the resurrection, folks. The dead in Christ shall rise first. And then which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the air, that is the rapture. And so shall we ever be with the Lord forever. That is the rapture. First, the resurrection. Second, the rapture. And we find in Revelation 20 that the first resurrection takes place at the end. Not before the 7-year tribulation period, like many believers have been taught to believe, but it will be at the end. I hope this helps you.